So you have a framework, the purpose is there and everything. And so moving, just going forward with it. How long have you read into it now? Because I saw that your post that you made got some really good responses on LinkedIn in the business community. And I always love it when somebody steps into their own in their entrepreneurship, and I don't know, it's like, you go, you go be you. And so I just want to be that person, like, go be you. But how long have you been out on your own now, away from and moved on from corporation? Because you were with a pretty big corporation.
I was, I've worked in corporate jobs my entire career. I started working for Whole Foods when I was 18. I was, bagging groceries in high school. And then I just stayed there for 14 years. I didn't bag groceries for 14 years. I did a lot of other things, but I stayed with the company for 14 years. Right. And then I left my last full-time corporate job, 9 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right. This summer has felt like simultaneously a lot of time and no time at all. Because I've just been really eating up like opportunities to have coffee with as many people as I can and starting to build my business. And I'll say, I've had my business on the side in one way, shape, or form for probably 6-7 years. I've been doing just little facilitations here and there, little consulting engagements. I started working pretty heavily with coaching clients on the side 3.5 years ago or so. Okay. And kind of shifting my focus from doing that work only internally for the company. I mean, I've been coaching leaders for many, many, many years internally at the companies I've worked for, but I've been just very slowly building my practice, building my vision for my business, and just trusting myself, trusting that I would know when it was time to leave, when it was time to go work on it full time.
You did it so gracefully. I watched it virtually and from afar, but you did it just so gracefully. And are you comfortable? Are you able to share the name, or would you rather not have where you left?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm happy to. When I left Whole Foods after 14 plus years, and this is a funny story, actually. I was like, all right, I want to be a coach. I want to be consulting, and all the advice I'm getting is go work someplace as different from Whole Foods as you possibly could. And so
why? Or just wanted to get some diversity? Is that
get some diversity, okay. Right? You've worked for this like fairly large company, but not, Whole Foods was like, at that time, my client group was like 18 stores.
Okay.
So
expand the portfolio. Go for it.
Yeah, that's right. Either go someplace really big, or go to a startup, or go to something that's not retail, or like get something else under your belt, which I think was great advice, because Whole Foods, has had such a people-centric culture, and it was really the only thing that had informed my sense of what leadership is. And so, I knew Amazon to be a pretty data-driven culture, to be a very large company. Of course, we're in the tech industry that's very far away from natural food retail. So I was like, all right, great, let's do this. So I got this job at Amazon, and I was actually hired to do a secret project. So in the job interview, they did not tell me anything about what the job was. And in my offer letter, it just had a title that was very vague. I didn't know anything about the project. I went to orientation, and I was at, remember in the old days when we used to sit around tables with strangers?
Yeah.
Right. And so I was in this room.
Oh my God, we're there. Yeah.
Hundreds of people all starting Amazon on the first day. And there was an exercise that was like, okay, go around your table, introduce yourself, and tell people what you're working on. And
what was it like walking in there? Was it just a big craft table? Was it all like, because sometimes people on the outside imagine like, what's it like on those orientation days in like Google and Amazon? Like, what's it like? Was it like craft table, all of it?
It was like the first day of school. It was
Really?
like, yeah, it was like you walk in, you get your picture taken for your badge, you go over here, you get your laptop, and then you go sit and you know, like learn about the company. And I had been facilitating a lot of orientation for, you know, new leaders at Whole Foods. So it was kind of interesting to see a different,
Was it impressive?
side of things. Yeah, I think the most impressive thing about it was like, I'm sorry, all of these people, I mean, it was probably a couple hundred people in the room. All these people are starting today. And you have another one of these this afternoon.
I know.
And you do this every Monday.
Yeah.
It was just to see the scale of a company like that and how big it was astonishing for me at the time. And that's awesome. Then we went around and it was like, you know, introduce yourself to people and say what you work on. And I was like, I'm Liz. I don't know what I'm working on. But if I did, I couldn't tell you, because if I did, I'd have to kill you. Like, I don't know anything. And then, you know, and then they all went around and they did know what they were working on. But the way they described it, I was like, I have no idea what you just said, because you're talking about, you know, full stack engineering or various things that I was like, I've never been exposed to this. I don't know. So then my manager came and took me out to lunch and then took me to the lab. This is still my very first day. I have no idea what I'm doing.
I like that. Let's go to the lab.
That's right. He's someone I had worked with.
Did you get your welcome bag? Let's go to the lab.
Got my little badge, and he was like, it won't work yet. We'll get it figured out. And he was someone I had worked with at Whole Foods. And he was like, all right, let's go. I'm going to show you what the project is. Scans his badge, opens the door. Clinton Shade, I will never forget this. It's just like metal racks full of like boxes and cans and jars and bottles of different food.
How big's the room? How big is this?
This is like, it's not huge. It's probably like, I don't know, like probably 20 feet.
So you got this room and there's metal shelving and all the food.
It's just shelving and all this food. And I just look at him and he says, do you have any idea what we're doing? And I said, no, what are we doing? He said, we're opening a grocery store. And my little heart just stopped. I was like, I'm sorry, what? What? I was supposed to go work someplace as different as possible and learn something new.
Yeah.
And this was, of course, this was Amazon Go, which is the just walk out grocery store with all the technology.
Okay.
It's really cool. It ended up being a really cool project. But that day I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I had nightmares for like a week where I just kept dreaming that I still had my job at Whole Foods. And then I kept waking up and thinking maybe I should call them back and see if I can go back, because I think I've made a terrible mistake. But it ended up being the best possible move for my career, because I got to work on so many things in the 6.5 years that I was there. I got to work with all different parts of the business. I got to meet people from all over. I got to, just the internal knowledge, meeting other learning and development people, leadership development, connecting with other program managers. I got to build entire training programs. The last 4 years that I was there, I ran an accelerated momentum program to help people navigate the promotion process and the skills that they needed. So I got to do a lot of really cool stuff there, including a ton of coaching with those leaders. And actually, I got to do a lot of emotional intelligence work at Amazon, which is, maybe depending on what you've read in the media, maybe not the first thing that you think about when you think about a company like Amazon. But I think something that I really learned there is that nothing is ever as simple as it seems. And there is a huge community of people who work at Amazon who are deeply invested in emotional intelligence, They give talks on it. They hold workshops. There's like a daily email newsletter you can be on. There are a lot of folks having this conversation about how do we raise EQ, and where do we see EQ happening in this environment. And so I really, in the time that I was at Amazon, I really felt like I was connected for the most part with people who really got me, people I wanted to be in relationship with, people I wanted to work with. So I had a great time at Amazon, and really my goal going there was I want to learn everything I need to learn to strike out on my own and go coach and do this consulting work that I love so much.